So this is going to be a review of the 2021 new Apple TV 4K. I just picked this up about a week ago, so let's quickly get through the specs so I can tell you what I think about it. So the new 2021 Apple TV 4K comes with the A12 processor as well as a HDMI 2.1 port, which allows it to do a few things. First of all, it can now do up to 4K 60 frames a second HDR Dolby Vision content, and it also has eARC support, which allows you to channel the sound from your TV through the Apple TV to a bunch of different devices. The new Apple TV also comes with a brand new Apple Siri remote, which I'll get to in a bit. It's really nice and quite a bit upgrade from the previous remote. And another few notable things about the new Apple TV is that it has support for Wi-Fi 6. If you guys don't know what Wi-Fi 6 is, I've done a deep dive into Wi-Fi 6 right up over here. And it also has Thread support for smart home devices. Now let's get into 5 reasons why I bought the Apple TV 4K. Even though it is a little bit overpriced at $179, you do get a lot of streaming devices that'll work out much cheaper. The Chromecast is about a fifth of the cost, but there are a few really nice advantages to having an Apple TV. So that's what I'm going to talk about right now. If you're not in the Apple ecosystem, do not buy an Apple TV. It doesn't make any sense. But the more Apple devices you have, the more and more sense it makes to have something like the Apple TV 4K. First reason I bought the Apple TV 4K was I had the original Apple TV, which came out in high definition. It could do a maximum output of 1080p, and I had it hooked up to a 75-inch 4K HDR TV, which, you know, wasn't really doing justice to the TV. The TV I bought came out just before the generation which has all the new Apple TV stuff built into the TV. So you can get Apple TV app as well as Airplay support, like my new LG 8600 TV, which I'm using right now. That has all the support inbuilt. So if you have something like that, there's no real need to get an Apple TV. But there are a few other things, few other pros you get with the Apple TV. It's great to have that extra 4K resolution with HDR and Dolby. It really does make a huge difference on a big TV like that. And it wasn't like I threw away my old device. My old Apple HD went into my bedroom, which didn't have an Apple TV device at all. So it was like a win-win for me. Now, the second reason I bought the new Apple TV 4K is because I lost my previous remote. I wanted to show you guys the differences between the two remotes, but I just can't find it. I don't know how that's possible. I mean, I never took the Apple TV out of this house, so it's somewhere in this house. I just don't know where it is. I've been looking for it for months. Couldn't find it. It's extremely small and it's definitely somewhere in this house. I just don't know where. And I was using my Apple TV just with my iPhone as a remote, which is really nice to have as an option, but it's kind of annoying not having a dedicated remote device to control your Apple TV. Now, speaking of the remote, let's get into the details of the remote. The new remote is really nice. It's a little bit bigger than the previous one, which is nice to hold. The old one was super thin and only had a touchpad on top. The new one has multiple options in terms of navigation. You have swipe control, so if you just swipe over the top part of the remote, it's actually going to function very similarly to the previous remote, but it also has directional buttons and move like one position at a time, which is much easier to control. Sometimes the swipes would like overshoot or undershoot, so it wasn't super precise compared to like having tactile buttons, which is much nicer. And the third way you can control the remote is with the scroll. So the outer ring of this round circular pad at the top is actually a touch sensitive like kind of scroll wheel. It works similarly to the previous generation iPods. You gently just hold your hand over the ring just for like half a second. It'll change the icon and then you can like kind of swipe around to move over the timeline. So it's really nice if you want precise control over your playhead exactly. Plus the remote has a couple of extra buttons. You have a dedicated power button which you can turn on the Apple TV with, and it'll turn on your TV and your sound system. And the same way for turning it off as well, you just hold down to the power button and everything's going to shut off with the one remote, which is super nice to have. It's kind of like the best of both worlds. You do still get the swipes. You can still play some of the games that use the swipe features and all that, but you also have the tactile button, so it makes it much nicer to navigate the whole UI. In fact, I'm thinking of picking up a second remote, which you can buy separately for like $59, just for my other Apple TV HD, so I can control it with the remote. Honestly, if I hadn't misplaced my previous remote, I wouldn't have bought this remote. I didn't dislike the old remote that much, but it is an improvement over the previous remote. Now, the third thing about the Apple TV is how deeply integrated it is in the whole Apple ecosystem. So even the setup process for it, as soon as you take it out of the box, I want you to bring your iPhone close to it so that it can pair to it, and then transfer all your settings from your phone to your Apple TV, including things like your Apple ID and all the settings and stuff. If you've had a previous Apple TV, it's going to shift everything over iCloud to the new Apple TV. So the setup process is super simple, just like Apple likes to do it. You just bring your device close and it's done. The other cool thing is the calibration setting, where you can like adjust the colors of your TV by just holding your phone close to the screen, and use the iPhone's camera to calibrate your screen for you. Now, of course, this will only work for whatever you're watching through the Apple TV, not through any other source, but it's a great feature to have. On top of that, if you guys aren't familiar with Airplay, you can mirror any Apple device onto your Apple TV. So your phone, your iPad, even your MacBook. Now I think the MacBook is actually streaming at a high resolution over the new version of Airplay 2. At least that's what it looks like. It's much nicer to use, especially if you want to use it as a secondary display. I can actually video edit on my laptop and use my Apple TV as a secondary monitor for my MacBook Air, which is absolutely awesome. Another great benefit of this is, like, if I want to show Mamta a website, I can just put it up on the Apple TV. If you're looking at some photographs or something like that, I can just do the same thing. So having Airplay is a great feature. Airplay works from the Apple TV side as well. So if you have AirPods or AirPod Max, or you have some HomePod speakers or any other Airplay compatible speaker, it'll show up in the Apple TV as a source. You can just start streaming directly from your Apple TV to that Airplay device as a speaker system. So it's great for me, especially at night if I'm watching something on the TV. I can just plug in my AirPods and listen to the Apple TV silently. And now with the latest Apple TV 4K, because it has eARC support, you can actually make your Apple TV be an output device for your TV. So if you have a pair of HomePods in stereo pair, you can actually make your TV's sound go through the Apple TV to those HomePods, and it'll work with any source. So say you're playing PS5 or Xbox Series X on your TV, it'll actually go through the Apple TV to your HomePods if you want a setup like that. Point number 4 is the Apple services and how they're integrated into the Apple TV. First of all, you have Apple TV Plus, and if you guys haven't checked out Apple TV Plus, they have some really good shows on there. I really liked Morning Show and For All Mankind. Servant was pretty good. Ted Lasso, Mythic Quest. There's a bunch of good shows on Apple TV Plus, and they're constantly releasing new things. And with the new Apple TV, or pretty much any device that you buy from Apple, you get about a year free of Apple TV Plus. So that's an advantage you get just by buying the box. And almost every single Apple service that's available on the Apple TV has some kind of trial period included with the box. You get 3 months of Apple Arcade, which is their games service. Pretty much every game that's on Apple Arcade is available on the Apple TV as well. Another great feature of Apple Arcade Plus is that you can connect your PS4 or PS5 or Xbox controller via Bluetooth directly to the Apple TV. And pretty much every single Apple Arcade game supports controller support, so you can play them on the couch using your nice controller. I wish there was a little bit more support from developers for this feature, especially from PlayStation and Xbox themselves, if they allowed for the remote play service that they offer on iOS. They don't have an Apple TV app. I don't understand why, but that would be a great additional feature where you can like remote play your PS5 or Xbox Series X over the network and have it displayed on your Apple TV screen. If you want the Apple Music subscription service, that's going to be awesome over the Apple TV, because now Apple is releasing their new high-res audio format, which will allow you to get really high quality audio. And especially for something like the Apple TV, which is connected to my nice home theater system, use the Apple TV to stream the highest quality over my big sound system. We also got Apple Fitness, which is a fitness subscription service, so they give you a free month of that as well. And if you have an Apple Watch, that will connect to your Apple TV Plus and give you fitness tracking while you're doing the workout. So yeah, as I was saying, the Apple ecosystem is really tightly integrated with all their services and all their hardware, and the Apple TV fits nicely into that ecosystem where you get all these like cool integrations into their software platform. And the fifth and last reason why I really enjoy using the Apple TV is its general UI. It's very clean. It's simple to understand, the navigation is easy. A lot of the apps that are actually built for the Apple TV are better than the apps that are kind of built into smart TVs generally. Now don't get me wrong, I love LG's WebOS. I think they make some of the best smart TV. The Air remote on the LG TVs is amazing. But some of the app support is not quite as strong. For example, in Netflix, I was looking back and forth, and on the Netflix app on Apple TV, you're getting Dolby Vision, but on the LG TV app, you're getting just regular HDR. So I don't exactly know why something like that is happening, but there are differences in the apps. You do get slightly higher resolution, higher quality when you're going through the Apple TV. And apart from that, the UI I feel is generally better designed on the Apple TV, especially for apps like OSN, which I use here in Dubai, which gives me all the HBO apps and all that. The app on LG is terrible, and the app on Apple TV is great. And the same for something like Plex. The Plex app on the Apple TV is far superior to what you get on the LG platform. So in conclusion, yes, the Apple TV is expensive at $179, but when you consider that it fits so nicely into the whole Apple ecosystem, it really doesn't seem that bad, especially considering the quality of the remote, the features you get, the app capabilities, you know, all the games that are available on the platform if you do decide to play some games on your TV. It's definitely not worth it if you're not in the Apple ecosystem. It's way too expensive compared to something like a $30 Chromecast, which will give you most of the results, but not this deep Apple integration that the Apple TV offers. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on the new Apple TV 4K 2021. If you guys like this video, hit that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to watch more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.